Why am I nowhere to be found? Wait. Not me forgetting to start the camera. Let's give it a second. I guess while we do that, good evening, everybody. There's no BGM. I'm just doing this into. Okay, can we get a little bit of something in here? There we go. Happy Sunday! There you go. I left my computer on sleep mode during our little break, and you know, I just laid down, and to be honest, I don't think my computer liked being on sleep mode. It's looking a little groggy right now. But it's okay. We'll just wait for everything to start up. Start up. No problemo. We're cool. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. Happy Sunday, guys! Welcome to our weekly Suck Sunday the discussion stream, where we recap and chat about last week's episode of Succession. This past week, actually, last Sunday, we postponed it because I was away at my grandma's, and we started season 2 on Wednesday instead. Let's give it up for season 2. On Wednesday, we also, you know, recapped a bit of season 1, but you know, my brain was all scattered, and I did not rewatch that stream, so like I don't know what we talked about. Besides me complaining about my problems, which are now resolved, for about like half an hour too long. Anyways, season 1, guys, season 1, and we're just now getting to the very beginning of season 2. I hope that you guys are enjoying season 2 so far. This is also, I mentioned this earlier, it's also a bit of a scatterbrained you know, discussion stream because I was so focused on my debut, so I didn't really have enough time to like prep things that I wanted to talk about. But I figured, hey, you know, when in doubt, Reddit it out. That's where I form my no, sorry, I don't form my own opinions there. I regurgitate opinions that I've stolen off of Reddit. The ones that I have given a mighty heckin' update. I cringed as I said that. The ones that I've given a mighty heckin' updo on on Reddit, those are the opinions that I tend to regurgitate in real life. When in doubt, just check on Reddit. We started season 2, guys. Season 2. I hope that you guys enjoyed season 1. Like I said, it really only gets better from there. I think season 2 is just peak. It's peak. It's peak. It's peak. It's the show at its best. If I had to rank it, I would say it would be season 2, then 4, then 3, and then 1. Not to say that season 1 is like bad by any means. I think the show as a whole, flawless, to be honest. That's why I watch it every year. But I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of setup in season 1. You really have to like learn about the characters and really kind of like, I don't know, for me at least, I really had to vibe it out. I especially Tom, I was just like, what the heck is going on with this guy? Like I told you, for the longest time, I did not believe that he was the same character that he was with the Roys, that he was with Craig. I was like, no way, all of this is Tom? Shut up. Like that's the same guy this whole time. I was same facing syndroming like all of the characters. Let's see. But yeah, now that we've gotten to season 1, gotten through season 1, we're here for the fun part. We get to see like all of that setup pay off. I think that the show like comedically at its peak. I think that they have like just a lot more to play around with. I feel like Shiv is a little bit more tightly written this time around too, which is really fun because we get like another asshole to root for. A lot of memes coming from this season. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for you guys to see what's coming up. And I think tonight we're gonna start off with a real banger. Where the 2 episodes we're watching today is let me get wait, let me like, can I zoom in? I don't want you guys to get spoiled. I think it should be okay. I'm just gonna like crop this just in case. Like that. Like that. Well, I guess maybe I could just do this whole thing, huh? You know what? Bring that out that way. I'll just do it like this. Okay. Put away the whiteboard. Would you want me to give a 15 or 5-minute reminder? Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, and then let me also set one on my watch. I've been trying to use my watch a little bit more. Let's see. Do 6. Here, I'll get the 5-minute reminder. You could get the 15-minute reminder. I mean, honestly, I think you know what? I'll make your job easier. I'll give myself the 15-minute reminder. I already have it set up anyway. 6:45, 26 minutes from now. What else did I want to... You know what? Let's just go through the Reddit. Wait, no. I remember what I was going to say. I wanted to tell you guys about the episodes that we're going to watch tonight. Alright, tonight, after this stream at 7 o'clock, we're going to go straight into the Discord. We're going to be watching the next 2 episodes of Season 2, Episode 3, which I think is a banger. When I first saw this, I was just like, I was literally on the edge of my seat. I don't think that we've had this sort of tension since... I was gonna say like maybe the car crash, Kendall's car crash, but then again, I don't know. I feel like that was kind of tense, but it's like a different kind of tense. I feel like this kind of tension is like the board meeting kind of tension, you know, when they're gonna do the vote of no confidence against Kendall in, I think it was like, what, episode 6 of season 1? Yeah, this is pretty tense. It's so, it's like I want to talk about it, but I don't want to like, you know, like oversell it either. Anyway, Season 2, Episode 3, Hunting. Logan tells his management team of his plan to make another attempt to acquire a rival media company. Greg worries his meeting with a Logan biographer will put his standing with the family at risk, and something about Connor. So if you recall in the beginning of the Season 2, okay, actually, let's start off with the bear hug, right? Oh man, should I get the hand cam out for this? Let's get the hand. I need to play with my hands to recount this story. All right. Okay. So if you recall, there was the bear hug incident with Kendall. Where are my coasters? Right here. So Kendall got fired from his job. And he's like, you know what? Fuck my daddy. I'm gonna go backstab him again. So he aligns himself with Stewie, one of his close buddies, and Sandy, who is one of Logan's rivals. And yeah, Kendall finds out that Stewie is just a puppet for Sandy. So Sandy kind of has like a proxy shareholder seat. And Kendall is like, you know what? I hate my dad. You know what? You can use my seat too. I have a seat because I'm his kid. So you can use my seat and I'll vote. I'll be like your little puppet and stuff. So he does that. But of course, you know, he gets in that car accident. He's like, actually, never mind. My dad kind of saved my ass. He could blackmail me. So you know what? shh, like, you know, he's keeping it. He's retracted his statement. He's not going against his dad anymore. So Stewie and Sandy are kind of like, dude, what the fuck? But they're also just kind of like, fuck you, Kendall. We are going to keep doing what we're going to do originally because you know what? Our plan is better. No matter how many times Kendall says I saw their plan, but my dad's is better. At the end of the day, Stewie and Sandy's plan makes the most sense. It's like, you know, I don't really know much about like the nitty gritty of the business part. I've heard that it's like kind of loose in general anyways, but basically if Stewie and Sandy were to get like their team together and they're like, hey, look at our numbers, dude, it's gonna make the most sense, and like it's gonna give like our shareholders, like the people who invested in us, the most money. So they'd be stupid to not go with us. Logan knows that. He knows that they'd be stupid to not go with them. So he's thinking like, okay, what is something that I can do to make sure that I stay afloat? He talked to his lawyer. I think his lawyer's name was like Laird or something. He talked to the lawyer, and the lawyer was like, well, here, let's make this guy the lawyer. He's like, well, you know, Logan, media, newspaper, news, it's kind of dead. You know what's really big though? Tech is really, really good. And I think that they're going to eat up everybody, and there's only just going to be like one media company left. So yeah, you're kind of fucked. If it was me, I would sell. I think that's a really good idea. Like, one media company left, huh? So he invites his whole family over for a meeting, right? For a meeting, and that's what happens in this episode, season 2, episode 1. Kendall tries to make amends with his father for his takeover betrayal. Logan receives some unvarnished advice from his financial banker about the next best move for Waystar Royco. Tom maneuvers a new position in the company. So we know that Logan, he also heard from his lawyer that he's like, well, what can I do to keep my company? Well, I think naming a successor would actually be a good idea. Yeah, I think that would actually really help a lot. So Logan's on the hunt, grooming his new kids. I mean, Kendall is kind of back in the fold, but then again, he's like, is he really in the running? I'm not so sure. I think like he's betrayed Logan. He doesn't have Logan's trust anymore. But then again, I don't know, maybe Logan does like the way that he does business. I feel like Roman has kind of been kicked off of the team. He's been kind of, you know, off doing like baby work, and you can kind of see him trying his best to get his dad's approval, but he's always falling short compared to his siblings. And I'm sure that it must hurt even more now that Shiv is tied into the family business. She was like, oh, fuck you, Gil, like you can't fire me, I quit. And he's like, okay, well, you're already fired, so like, bye. So she goes fully into dad's business, and dad is like, I don't know, he's like, oh yeah, you know, we can train you for a little bit and bring you to the company, and you can be sitting in all the meetings and stuff, and then you can be the next CEO. She's like, wow, I know I pretended that I never wanted this before, but I actually do really want this a lot. Yeah, that's kind of where they all are. And of course she had to tell Tom, and Tom was like, oh, well, I thought we were gonna say that I should be the CEO or like something, you know, or like have a good position or something. Like I thought we were gonna try and do something for me. And she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do that eventually. We'll get to that, Tom. That's like phase 2, phase 3. This is just a little amendment to our plan. Yeah, I don't think she loves him. Tom deserves so much better. But yeah, they have that dinner at the Hamptons. Yeah. I feel like there's another point I wanted to make with that, but I kind of forgot. So let's just go ahead and read the Reddit. Kendall walking and acting like every room he's going to walk into and expect someone to kill him. The anxiety and fear in Jeremy Strong's performance is amazing. I agree. Literally so many times. The first couple times that I rewatched this, especially when I rewatched this with my friends, I'm just like, I soak in all of that Kendall like overconfidence from the first season, knowing how far he's gonna fall in season 2. Like if you think about it, remember he was so cocky and like arrogant. He was just like, yeah, like we're really gonna like fuck this up, you know? It's like remember, remember when he walked into the boardroom, he's like, yo, like what happened to that Kendall? He's gone. He's a broken man now. And I think the fact that there's like, I don't know, so much range in this one character, you can like kind of see hints of it when Logan is like, you know, trying to tell him off. Like specifically in the pilot episode, I think I mentioned this before, where he's like, oh, are you gonna hit me? Are you gonna hit me, Kendall? Right? And you could see Kendall sort of revert back into like that sad boy, like that childhood, that little boy kind of face, that look in his eyes. But then, you know, he bounces back. But this time he's fallen and he's not getting up because he knows that he's fucked up. And I mean, like, what do you do? He's traumatized. He's completely traumatized. But yeah. Here's another comment. The shots of him standing in the puddle and holding on to the straps of his bathrobe was so well done. He legit looked like an 8-year-old. Incredible how much he can do with such little physical acting. It's insane. I'm glad I got to witness something like that in person. I got to see him on Broadway for An Enemy of the People. But I would say, you know, he was playing like was he like a doctor, like a scientist that was like, hey guys, like maybe we should stop drinking our water and like halt on the tourism because our water is actually really nasty and people are gonna get sick. And then like everybody else in the town was like, but if we stop tourism, then like, oh, how are we gonna make money? And then like that's the whole play. It's just like him trying to convince people like, hey, stop drinking the water, guys. It's making us sick. And like, I think we should like, and then everybody else is like, no, fuck you, whatever, man. Something like that. I don't know. I think that's how it went. It's been like a year since I saw it. Gansu, welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday evening. We're chatting about Succession before we go into the next couple of episodes in about half an hour. Let's see. We also hear from, oh, right. They need to have a temporary CEO on the papers to satisfy the shareholders, right? And for now, they're putting Jerry's name down. And Logan was like, it could be Jerry. It won't be Jerry, just to be clear. And then Jerry's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not getting the job. But we've heard Jerry be mentioned as like a potential CEO interim a couple times. Like when Logan was out, when the kids were like, okay, well, who should be the CEO while he's out? Jerry's name was passed around. She's very competent, as we've seen. Perhaps she might be in the winning for the throne. Do we have do we have anybody who thinks she might be in the winning for the throne to be CEO? I was thinking like, should I do a poll? But I don't know how many questions. I think I could only do 4 questions, 4 answers. We do the main kids. Yeah. Start a poll. Okay. Who? Oh, actually, wait. Do you think? Actually, I don't even know how to phrase the question. You know what? Never mind. No poll. I'll try and think of something next time. Oh, frames are not the best. Oh no. Yeah, I've had literally like earlier today when we were streaming and my internet cut out, I got a text saying that we will have internet problems. They said it was resolved, but I mean, I don't know. I don't really trust them. But yeah, I do have some internet issues today, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't end up being too awful, and that we stay stable for the rest of the stream. Oh yeah, that also brought me back to what I wanted to say before. Logan's lawyer told him, in addition to a successor, that it's only going to be one media company standing against the test of time. Logan considered selling, but then as he talked to all his kids, I think he wanted to get his eggs in a basket first. He wanted to name his heir. And he was thinking, okay, well, not gonna name Kendall. He's betrayed me too many times. Not gonna name Roman. Sure, he's working hard, but he's also like, he's Roman. So he goes with his last child. He could probably name Shiv, train her, groom her into the position. And, yeah, she accepts. And then after she accepts, he's like, okay, well, family, we are going to be the very last media company left. So y'all lock in and, all steam ahead. All sails ahead. What's the phrase? What's the phrase? I don't know. But either way, he says we're gonna be the last media company standing, and nobody knows except for Tom and Shiv. Shiv knows that she's gonna be CEO next, or that her dad wants her to be, and of course she has to tell Tom. But that's a secret that stays between them and you know, Logan. And Logan doesn't know that Tom knows, I guess, but yeah. These two know, and she spilled it to her hubby. Okay, and then as part of that, he's like, okay, well, if we're gonna be the biggest one, we're gonna have to eat the other ones. So they're going after PGN, the Pierce Group Network. They are also another family that has a media company. They're definitely like more liberal leaning, so that's why Shiv is like, I don't know if that's gonna work, Dad. It's kind of like if Fox News bought CNN, right? Like, just the values are clashing. He's like, I don't know about that, Dad. And he's like, well, you know what? I want it. So, yeah. So that's kind of what they're talking about right now. They're talking about making their assets folder looks better, making their, you know, trimming the fat and all of that. Papa Whiskas, welcome. Lovely to see you again. Recapping Succession. Let's take a look at the rest of the thread. Yeah, so when they passed the CEO news to Shiv not telling her husband the big news is next level, but we find out that she does tell him in the next episode. But she held it from Tom for a whole week. She didn't say anything to him. You know, this whole time Tom's thinking like, okay, you know, my wife has secured me a pretty good position, because she says like something like, oh, I think you'll be fine. I don't know, something like that. But yeah. Oh, I've never heard someone ask for pizza so aggressively. We see the massive amount of waste. They had like the whole lunch of like lobsters and crab and all of this shellfish, really expensive looking food. But Logan told them to throw it all away because it's been sitting out in the stink of a dead raccoon. And he's like, no, we're gonna get pizza. Hope you're having a good night, and congrats to you and the other girlies for the Vnus debut. Oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you, Papa Whiskas. It was fun, and I'm excited to see more content from y'all. I'm really excited to embark on this next chapter. I'm definitely like a little bit nervous about falling into old habits of like, you know, indecision and perfection being the enemy of good, but with you guys cheering me on and with the new status of being an idol under my belt, I will try my best to be more confident in myself and give you guys some interesting, fun things to watch and such. I don't know. I'm not good with my words suddenly. I'm excited still you and Nay. I remember the stream when I first y'all. Oh yeah! When we did, was it the Friday the 13th stream? That collab? That was so much fun. That was so much fun. I'm really happy to see the Vnus family grow again, because that was like one of the things that, like, ever since the beginning, I've always wanted to like invite other people in to share this world with us and have like this playground of lore to play around with, and you know, not just T joining Vnus, but like seeing Reiya Mizuki join Osiris, and like, you know, them having fun with like all of the stories that I've documented from back at the home realm. It just feels really nice to actually see something come out of it. It was a VTubers react. Really? Oh man. So that one, I guess it wasn't like super duper long. I mean, it still was a very long time ago, but the Friday the 13th stream collab that we did with Haven X, That was our very first collab, and honestly, like our very first collab ever. And it was like, I don't know, it felt really fun. Like literally, I still talk to a lot of them today. So yeah, feels really nice to know that like a stream like that has brought very long friendships. Now that I think about it, it's our very first collab together. So. And they said to type 69 in the chat if you're playing with your worm, and so I typed it. You typed it and no one else did. Now everyone would type it. Now the real Kneewormies know. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay, well, wow, the whole ending scene was great. I can't help but feel that Logan is gonna somehow end up fucking Shiv over. Do you guys think that? Do you guys think that Logan will fuck Shiv over? Because now that I think about it, we have seen him do that to Kendall. I mean, I guess kind of once. You know, he told Kendall he was gonna be the heir apparent, and they were literally like setting that in motion until Logan got sick and was like, eh. No, he wasn't even sick at the time. He changed his mind before he got sick. And there is like speculation for like what might have changed his mind, but I think that we should probably wait until end of season 2 maybe to find out. I don't know. I'll see how I can fit it in. But I feel like it's more apparent on a rewatch, especially after you've seen the whole thing. Could be like it's really easy to like point out Logan's preferences once you have seen the show in its entirety, and then you could see like from the get-go like, oh, okay, like this is why he made that decision and stuff. I clipped it and that's how I found you named Juno. I miss Juno too, man. I was watching her VOD the other day. Let's see, what else do we have? Anyone else get foreshadowing vibes with the 3 raccoons stuck in the chimney? Right, this is what had the whole Hampton's house stinky when they first walked in. There was 3 raccoons stuffed in the chimney, and I don't know if this was intentional or if Logan was like reading into it too much, but he did accuse the contractor who was building the house of stuffing a bag of live raccoons in the chimney and then letting them die and rot in there and like, you know, like really make it stinky. I mean, if they did that, that's like crazy hater energy, but I mean, I don't know, with Logan Roy, maybe it's like kind of then again, animal abuse just to get back at some crotchety old man. Anyways, anyone else get foreshadowing vibes with the 3 raccoons stuck in the chimney? It's definitely 3 kids clawing their way up to the top, but in reality, they all just get stuck and cause unrest and problems for their company / their dad. I think the successor won't be any of the 3. Just thought it was an interesting gift bit. That's a very interesting perspective to take. I actually never even thought about it. I didn't even catch on that it was 3 raccoons in the chimney. I thought it was just 1. Yeah, that's kind of kind of insane foreshadowing. I mean, if it's not the 3 kids, who could it possibly be? We have maybe Jerry in the running. Looking at the hand cam. Looking at the hand cam. I really gotta get my mouse fixed. And looking at the other coasters that we have, besides like the kids, minus Connor, we have Jerry, we have Tom, and we have Greg. But I feel like Tom and Greg are like more, what do you call it? They don't really feel as serious contenders as everybody else, right? They feel like more of like the audience proxy. Like, especially Greg, where you're sort of like, oh, you know, he's wide-eyed and fresh into this world of the Roys, and I feel like he's definitely our audience proxy. But then again, we do see him doing like some sneaky things every now and then, so it's not to say that it's impossible. Tom, on the other hand, it seems like he can't really catch a break. Nobody's taking him seriously. But he does come across as a hard worker to me. You know, he was really excited and eager to get into ATN, right? And we find out that he's named the was it like head of global broadcast TV. He has this older woman, Sid, who is sort of like kind of opposing to him. I think they kind of like share a position, or there's like a lot of overlap. So we might see some friction between them when it comes to doing their job. But Tom immediately, day one, he tells Greg, hey, I need you to go, you know, find the waste at the bottom. We're gonna trim the fat, we're gonna save money, and then Logan is gonna be happy with me, and then maybe I can, like, I don't know, just be in his good graces. I don't know. I feel like he's pretty happy with where he is at ETN. Greg, on the other hand, not so happy. He says that he has, what is it? Values? Morals? What was the word that he used? We'll probably see it in the next episode thread. I'll save that for a second. Let's read a couple more comments here. Kendall's sobriety lasted 48 hours. This will end up smoothly. Logan with the ultimate power move to open this season. That is true. Kendall, we opened up with him at that spa, and he was like, oh, dude, just thinking about him in the beginning of the episode, he was like so, just like shaken by everything. And, you know, just scared. And I find it funny that despite him being like such a bitch boy this season, same with Tom being such a bitch boy around like the Roys all the time, just both of them sucking up to whoever is higher than them on the totem pole. But anytime they're around Greg, they're like, dude, like, Greg, go fucking get me this, go fucking get me that. You know, they're just like bossing him around. He's everybody's punching bag. He's so low on the totem pole that even when Tom, who's at the lowest, and when Kendall falls to his lowest, they're still above Greg. Let's see. Oh yeah, you got me part coke. Ew, dude. I thought, like, I don't know, just saying like ew as a response to like cocaine just seems too casual for like doing what I like hard drugs, right? That's hard drugs. Maybe it depends on your social circle. Okay, yeah. We did also see a bit of Roman's fallout with the rocket too. He was in Japan, and he was like pretty charismatic. I think he said that this quote specifically, oh, here's my alarm, 15 minutes. This quote specifically, I'm not being facetious, but I'm not a rocket scientist, and like everybody kind of laughed. So I think we are seeing, like, sure, Roman is Roman, he's kind of a fuck up, but like he does have charisma to carry him through the business aspect. This press conference being one example, him with Lawrence Yee, the guy from Vaulter, being another example. Nice segue. Let's go to Vaulter. Vaulter, season 2, episode 2. Roman and Kendall do a routine health check of a new media brand to help Vaulter determine the future of the company. Let's see. Tom tasked Greg with sniffing out waste at ATN. Connor and Willa host a soiree to mark their return to New York. Oh yeah, Connor and Willa, they moved out from New Mexico and they're moving into New York. And Connor announces that he wants to be president of the United States. Was that in the last episode? That wasn't in season 1, right? we have President Connor. Salute to President Connor. President Roy, who I don't know, do you guys think he has a chance? You think he can be president of the United States, Mr. Connor Roy? I don't know. But he's certainly going to try, even no matter how many times people are laughing at him or expecting him, not taking him seriously. He is just like, why are you guys laughing? Like he's serious about that, and I kind of have to respect it, you know. And in the face of doubt, he doubles down. Okay, so yeah, we see Logan, he's like, hey, you know, we got to save some money if we're going to look more attractive to the shareholders and like give them more confidence in the things that we're doing. That's one of the reason why Tom is like, oh, hey, if I cut out the waste from ATN, Logan's gonna love this. That's why he and Greg are sniffing out the waste. Greg finds out that a lot of the communications, I think, or a lot of the media is done analog, and he's like, if we just upgrade the tech, we could probably save a lot of money. He tells Tom that they can fire at least like 30 to 50 guys. Tom, he's salivating at the thought. He's like, 30 skulls? You can really get me 30 skulls? Like, you know how much money that's gonna save us? And Greg, he seems a little bit more hesitant, but you know, he finds the waste. He did his job. He's being praised for it. I think that we will see him be a little bit more seduced, I suppose, by callousness, I guess. I don't know if that's like the word for it. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's a business, right? But I think like the way that they talk about it, like especially Tom being very eager, he just sees it as like a number to present to his father-in-law versus like, oh man, it kind of sucks that 50 guys have to lose their job, but whatever, you know. He doesn't even say that kind of sucks. He's just like, what, really? We can fire 50 people? Greg, you know. He was happy with just 7, but we do see Greg being like pretty competent at his little task, running around like a little rabbit for Tom. On the other hand, Logan needs to save some money, so he's looking at his assets. They suggest maybe we could go ahead and take a look at Volter, which is the company that Kendall tried really hard to buy in the first episode. He was like, he actually even raised the price to buy Volter because he had so much faith in this knockoff BuzzFeed that it could bring them to the next level. And you know, Logan's like talking about it to his 2 COOs, right? And Kendall is like, well, you know, I think we should really go into tech and stuff, and like, you know, Volter is going to be like our leg in, and I think it's going to be a really good idea. All we have to do is just really help them out, tell them to lock in, and I think we got this. Roman, on the other hand, is like, I don't know. It's kind of fishy over there. I think it's kind of a farce. Everything is inflated. I think we're just better gutting it and keeping the name. Logan's like, gutting it and keeping the name. I like that. So we spend most of this episode, you know, these two trying to do their best to keep it in. Kendall's like, no. Let's just like run the numbers again. Let's take a look at it again. I think that it will be fine. Let's just like, you know, let's just give them a little nudge. So they work over there for a little bit, and yeah, well, it turns out it wasn't a great idea. Logan's like, yeah, actually, shutter them, steal their name, shutter them. They're gonna unionize. I don't want to fuck with that. Let's just take the name and go, fire all of them. And he tells Kendall to do it. Kendall really wanted to keep his baby alive, his Volter baby alive. That was like his deal, you know? That was like the thing that he worked really hard on in the first episode, his like pride and joy. And Logan's like, kill it, gut it, skin it alive, and let's wear the skin for like another company or something so they can keep the Volter name. And that's what they do. Kendall goes up to Lawrence Yee, the CEO and founder of Volter, and he goes into the office building, and you know, he did try. You know, he really did try, and he tried to be like, hey, you know, just really like lock in and like give me the numbers, and I think we can make this work out. I think my dad can be convinced to keep you guys alive. But he goes back on that word, and Lawrence was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I thought you said that you had this under control. Kendall, all he can say is just like, no, I have to do it. My dad told me to. My dad told me to. I have to do it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the comments. Holy shit, best single episode yet. When Kendall fired everyone, stone cold killer shit. I think he is the most dangerous of all the Roys because he has nothing to lose. That's a really good point. That dude spitting in his face and Kendall's response was great. Oh yeah, after he fired everybody, this one guy came up to him and he like just straight up spat in Kendall's face, landed like straight like, you know, on his lips and stuff. Kendall, not even flinching, he said, "Is that all you got?" Is that all you got? His dad may have to tell him to do things, but I mean, hey, Kendall's stone cold. He's stone cold. More of today's episode. Use your vacations day. They won't be reimbursed, so don't hoard them in this show. Yeah, when he fired them, he was like, you guys can leave immediately. Your vacation days will not be reimbursed, and like they'll get a severance package and all of that. Okay, let's see. Shiv getting awfully cocky with quitting the presidential run, thinking she'll land comfortably on her feet working for her dad, when we all know she's don't get fucked over. Maybe she's gonna get fucked over so badly. Definitely her biggest mistake yet. Yeah, this was the episode where she's like, you can't fire me, I quit. Because they didn't like her working with her dad. But yeah. Definitely her biggest mistake yet. Should have kept playing both sides like Tom suggested. Yeah, she wasn't very into taking orders either. So yeah, that's why Gil, I think that's why he wanted to fire her. I might have spaced out a little bit. Too much pride. Gil criticizes her one little shitty joke. Oh, right! That's what it was. Gil Evis, he is like, you know, kind of like their quasi like Bernie Sanders sort of character. Very like for the people, of the people. He shakes hands with like some guy asking questions, right? Like just some, I guess probably in this show would be referred to like the commoners, right? He shakes hands with the commoner, and Shiv, as a joke, offers him hand sanitizer at the end. And he's like, what? I mean, to be fair, this is like pre-COVID. Maybe it would be like a little bit less offensive nowadays, but like pre-COVID, it's like, oh, so you think that I should wash my hands after I touch a pore? Like, is that what you're trying to say? Gil doesn't really like that joke, and he's just like, yeah, I don't really appreciate that, and like, you know. Anyways, she gets defensive over it and doubles down on it, and they kind of like spat a little bit, and he's just like, I don't know, maybe this isn't gonna work after all. And she's like, well, you know what? I quit then. Okay, Shiv. Gil criticizes her one little shitty joke, and she has to go on and throw all his dirty laundry out there in a heartbeat. Typical entitled behavior. I like her, but I'm actually really looking forward to seeing her get fucked by Logan. Honestly, same. I think like that's, Shiv is like really fun if you like to see somebody just screw themselves over every chance that they get. I don't know, like with her and like Nate, you know, she's like resisting Nate so hard in season 1, and just like, oh, maybe she has it in her, I don't know, but or her like fucking over Tom. She's like, I think out of all the characters that's like fun to hate, I feel like, you know, Kendall, you would hate him on paper, but then you like watch his character and you're like, oh, I can't help but have a soft spot for him. Roman is like someone that you should also hate on paper, but I think that the more that you explore him, the more you see that he's like a softer kind of character. I think you even see it now that he has hints of like, he really deeply cares for his family, you know? Like, an example from season 1 when he was like, oh yeah, I think we should just like sign the contract that dad wanted us to sign that gives Marcia like some more control over the company, because I don't know, he almost died. I think it'll be a nice thing to do when he wakes up. And all his other siblings were like, no, like, are you crazy? But Roman was down for that. You see he has a soft spot, which I think makes him sympathetic. But Shiv, on the other hand, she is like, I feel like it's somebody that maybe you should like on paper, because she's not afraid to like call her family, particularly her dad, out for like his bigotry. But she sucks. I don't know what else to say. She sucks. She sucks as a person. Like all of them do, but I feel like it's sort of like an inverse from the other characters, because it's like, oh, you'd think that you would like her on paper versus like you think you would hate everybody else on paper, but like her rottenness is like underneath, which I think sort of that kind of like sneakiness, or I guess like betrayal for lack of a better word, is like, I don't know, maybe that's what rubs people the wrong way with her. Juliana, welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday evening. Oh my gosh, we have 4 minutes until we go to our watch along in the Discord. Let's see what else is there. I like seeing predictions like this from back in the day. 6 years ago, I think. Can you believe it was 6 years ago? That's when I first watched this show. It was like right when season 2 ended, and I binged it, and there was no more episodes. I didn't realize that it was like airing. I didn't know how many seasons there were. I just got to the last episode of season 2, and I was like, where's the rest? And then I found out it had just finished airing like maybe 6 months before. I just missed it, and then COVID happened, and I think there was like 3 years wait between season 2 and season 3. I don't know, it was something like ridiculous. I think if it didn't happen tonight, somewhere in the next 2 to 3 episodes, the media masses are going to realize that this is HBO's new flagship series. I still feel like the show is largely flying under the radar, but that's about to change in a big way. Lots of similar vibes from how The Sopranos started. I mean, I haven't seen like a lot of like prestige TV. This is probably the only one that I have seen, but yeah, I don't even know that if it got it the flowers that it deserved back in like season 4, when season 4 was airing. I remember it being a big deal, but I don't know if like everybody else was like privy to it. Okay, yes, reminder time. We got a few minutes left. Let me finish. What else was I gonna say? Let's see. This show 100% proves every time Greg is on, improves every time Greg is on screen. Kendall is wooing him. Oh yeah, Kendall gave Greg an apartment. Just like this random apartment that he was holding on to, just property that was empty. Big problem in New York City, actually. A lot of rich people just buy property and they don't use it. But Kendall was like, hey, you know, I'm waiting for my guy to flip it when the markets turn better. You can use it. I'm not using it. Just you live here now, Greg. And Greg is like really happy because he was gonna go live either far away from the city, like in Staten Island or something, or he was gonna live in like a really cramped loft. So he has his own apartment now, but the catch is that Kendall is just going to like throw parties there whenever, so he's kind of operating on Kendall's schedule there. But he does owe Kendall one, and we did see like a olive branch, I don't know if that's the word for it, but extend it to Greg. So let's see, we'll see how that alliance kind of plays out. Oh yeah. At the end of the episode, for episode 2, we also see Roman. He sees Logan and Kendall talking about stuff, and he feels a little left out, so he's like, hey, is this like a meeting that I should be in on? Of course, we also find out that like Roman and Shiv especially, I like music. I don't know. Anyways, we find out that like Roman and Shiv, they don't know any, like nobody knows about the car accident. That car accident is a secret between Logan, Kendall, Marsha, and the bodyguard, right? Nobody knows his involvement. So of course, like Kendall is acting really weird to his siblings. They're just like, you tried to kill dad, like you tried to like sell our family company, and you just backed out because of what? So they're very untrusting of him right now. He's not on good terms with them. And especially because Logan is treating Kendall, after all of that, as his little, like, you know, baby prince boy. He's like giving him this extra tenderness, which in everybody else's mind doesn't make sense at all. We do see Roman getting iced out a little bit more because he wants to join in on, like, he knows that something is going on between his dad and Kendall. And him and Shiv even talked about like, oh, maybe he blackmailed dad or something. Either way, Roman knows something is going on. He wants to be like part of that, you know, because he is actually imagining himself being ambitious into becoming CEO of Waystar Next. He thinks that he can be the heir apparent. Little does he know that Shiv was picked. But yeah, he walks in on them talking. He's like, oh, should I like be in on this meeting? Logan's like, no, fuck off. What are you waiting for? A kiss? Fuck off. Bye bye. To his own son. And then, you know, so I think Roman's gonna have some festering feelings that we see bubble up. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good analysis. As always, if you guys have like anything that you want to talk about, like when it comes to the show, I feel like having a discussion about the characters and about the show is always like the best thing. I'll come prepared with like more questions next time, but you know, I was really busy with debut this week, so unfortunately we couldn't get to that. But we do have a Suck Sunday thread. Let me go ahead and also start the event now. We'll be going into the Discord, so make sure you go ahead and join us in the Discord to watch the next 2 episodes of Succession. Season 2, Episode 3, Hunting, and Season 2, Episode 4, Safe Room. Both of them are bangers. Both of them are actually really fun. We do have a Succession thread in the Discord, so go ahead and join that Discord as well, and take a look at the thread. If you come up with like things that you want to share, things that you want to talk about, I don't know if that link is accessible unless you join the Discord first, so please do that. I am in a I'm in a VC right now. When I started the event, I joined the VC. I was like, I looked at the Discord, I'm like, why is it like green? Why is my circle green? I was like, what happened? Like, did I like not leave the live VC last night? I heard you. I was so scared. I was like, where am I? Okay, anyways, yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. As per usual, I will see you next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Be sure to join our Discord. We're gonna be watching Succession right now. Yeah, if you've been sitting down for as long as I have, make sure you give your body a nice big stretch. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Drink some water. Let me drink some right now. And last but not least, treat yourself to something nice. Maybe some nice dinner or snackies while we watch my favorite show of all time. Either way, I hope you had a lovely weekend, and I hope you have an even better week to come. Until next time, take care, everybody. Bye. And this episode has these 2 upcoming episodes have some of my favorite moments. So for sure, next week we'll have something a little bit more structured to talk about. Yeah. Make sure you if you have like questions like about character dynamics, or like, oh, why is this character like that, or something, feel free to ask them during these kinds of streams. Or like if there's like a plot point you're confused about, or even if there's just like a thought that you had while we're watching along, feel free to bring them to these streams. I love to talk about this show. I do kind of feel bad about just like recapping and retreading familiar territory, because I'm just like, oh, I don't know, is this like useful? Is it useful? But I know that it's like kind of a meaty plot sometimes to get through, so maybe it is useful, but I don't know. Either way, yeah. Bye.